Right, now I have slightly cheated. I have finished most things off with this paintwork now, and I've covered it in a varnish. This is a semi-gloss varnish. It's just what I happen to have in the workshop. I would prefer to use a high gloss, but we're going to cover it with a matte. Just the high gloss helps the decals to move around. Plug the propeller back on. The motor's in there at the moment. Well, I'm going to come back to the motor later. I just want to get this finished. But lots of layers of lacquer, and to harden up the skin and the paint so I don't get all those chipping problems. So I've gone ahead and blacked up the wheels and things like this, put the undercarriage back in, just so I can get these decals on and so I can handle this without paint chipping. So decals, now what I do have, and I recommend if you're doing dinkies, is get some micro sol and some micro set. The reason is that you've got a lot of panel lines and things that are raised, and I know that this has been filed down by the previous owner, which makes things a lot easier for doing this, but you'll find with your dinky models and raised inset lettering, you're going to find that difficult to make the decal dig in. So now I bought some ear flossers. The Americans call these Q-tips for some reason, and this is what we're going to do. So let's put a little bit of micro sol on there, and I know that the decal has to go in this area here. Okay, let's put that there for a second or two. I have my tweezers, and I've pre-cut these out to save you falling asleep watching me do this. I have some warm water there, and the idea is to heat up and wet the glue on the paper so this will slide off from the paper. Do not try to take the decal off and then put it on. You need to slide this on. So hopefully that's wet enough. Nope, it needs a bit longer. It means you're going to get a little bit bored waiting for me to do this. And I'll double check with the drawing that I have here to my right. So these go near to the leading edge, just past the magazines. I can see this is lifting now, so that should, yeah, it's sliding. And that's there. I have the toothpicks here, which I think are quite good doing this sort of thing, and I am now going to use the other side of the cotton bud, or Q-tip if you're watching in America, and just roll that up and down on that surface, and the micro sol will make it dig into the paint work. Okay, on the other side we have micro sol, which go on there, and we really, I should save time and plunk that in, let it soak up. These will take a little bit of a time to soak in. They're probably quite old, which is probably why you get this problem. I've been using the lid of an old ice cream box to cut out the decals that I want. I'm on the kitchen table right now, and the wife's upstairs. She doesn't really know I'm doing this, so it's just so I could be a bit more comfortable rather than being in the workshop right now. And let's see how that's getting on. Hope it's getting all nice and warm. Now I've decided not to put too much detail into this, and I'll tell you the reason why. There we go. The reason is this is not a model, it's a toy, and what this is the way I'm looking at it, is that we're just making that toy that we couldn't really have when we was a child, or we did have it as a child, and we're just making it just a bit more realistic, you know, a bit more how it should be in our own minds. You will get those purists who will say, oh well, you know, you've got to do it as it came out of the Dinky factory and all this sort of shenanigans. Well look, you know, it's an individual choice. I'm never going to be able to get this as good as the factory made it. You know, they used to use celluloid paints, and you can't even, I don't even know if you can buy cellulose paint these days, and cooking them in ovens and whatever else there were methods they were using, factory methods that you're just going to find very difficult to reproduce at home. So you're going to end up with your Dinky toy, not your model, looking a bit more realistic. Now, thereon, I'm going to put on the micro set now and get another cotton bud and just dip that in there, and this will make it set. Now, I'm not a chemist, I don't know exactly how these things work. And so, as promised, I found some swastikas in my workshop. I knew I would find some eventually. Now, to finish things off, I'll put the canopy back on, and here goes the aerial. Okay, so that is, well, it's finished, except for one thing. There you go, a working propeller. See if I can get you in a little bit closer, perhaps. A working propeller. Just stop it, flick it, there you go. So that is, I'll put a little glue in there perhaps. That is the finished product, and I think I was correct in not putting too much detail in. Maybe on my next one I will do a little bit more detail. And the canopy is the original canopy that came with it. Here's the underneath. So again, it's quite simple. You can just see the little shadow lines here and there. And I've put in the one or two little details there. And it quite nicely snaps up. I would say satisfyingly snaps up. And you go when the wife's out or when the kids are out. So there you have it. This is the Dinky ME-109, otherwise known as the Emil by the Luftwaffe pilots. They really like this aircraft. Obviously later on when the G came out, it got a bit heavier and so forth, and wasn't quite so popular. Saturday the 27th of June, I will put this on eBay, and if you want to buy it, you can buy it. It'll be running and everything. Saturday the 27th of June. This is the reason I'm giving that date is that I've never put a video together before or put one on YouTube, so I don't know how to do it. So I've got till then to learn. So Saturday the 27th of June 2020, I will put this onto eBay, but I would like to hear some suggestions of what sort of price I should put it on for, which gives you the opportunity, if you want to own this, to own it. And if this video becomes successful, I will make another one and probably do an ME-109E again, probably in more detail, probably with a yellow nose on it, and more than likely in the guise of Adolf Gallant. But this would have been your standard Battle of Britain fighter. So I hope you like it, and please give a thumbs up and ring the bell and subscribe. I'm not doing this to make money out of it. I do it because I like it, but if I just keep hold on to these things, I'll just have a house full of ME109s. I will try at a further date to do a video about repairing the motors. This didn't run, so I had to take it apart and clean it and things, and if I can find the patience, I've got another one, I will probably just do a separate video on how to have a go at the motor. Okay, it does involve taking it apart and some cleaning fluids and a little bit of glass paper and so forth, and it's not for the faint-hearted. So, but if you really want to know how to get this one going, and I can make it go because it's not guaranteed, once you've got a camera looking at you, then I will give it a go. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope it hasn't bored you too much. I hope you enjoyed it. I would like to hear what your comments are, good or bad, as long as you're polite. And yeah, I'd really like to know what sort of price to put it on eBay for. And if you would like to see another one done, and hopefully my production and photography gets better, then maybe you'll enjoy it even more. Okay, and if you want to know something, or you want something put into the next video, then please leave a comment and I will do my best to do so. This is my first time. I'm not a professional camera guy or not a professional photographer. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.